and welcome to ADHD Friendly. I'm Patty Blinderman. I'm an ADHD coach and your host of Everything ADHD Friendly. This is episode number 102, and I am going to just give a quick overview of what I'm going to cover today. I have a celebration, which Becca, you know about. I'm talking about my lemon tree. It's very exciting.
Yeah.
Quick little celebration. Then I have an ADHD friendly tip. It's an approach to cleaning. My approach is very sparkly. Just going to share it in case it creates a little spark of interest in your brain to ease you into cleaning something with a little bit less resistance. And then we're going to talk about managing subscriptions today, which can be a very large topic. I'm going to try to break it down into some reasons why it's difficult for us, and then some strategies to support you to manage them with more ease. But let's get into it. So my celebration, Becca, as you know, I brought my lemon tree inside. I don't know why I keep thinking there's a song that I want to break into. Is there a lemon tree song? I don't know, but it just started getting chilly enough here in Chicago that as a citrus tree, I didn't think it was a good idea to leave it outside. So before really even we're anywhere near in danger of having an actual frost per se, at least in the extended forecast, I just thought, you know what if I just plan to bring it inside even earlier than I probably need to, just to be safe?
Yeah.
And I did. And I can see it right now. It's like in front of a sunny window. I'm hoping it makes it through the winter and that I won't forget to water it and all of those fun things, but I'm at least giving it a fighting chance to survive the winter months. So my celebration is I got it inside, and instead of thinking about it and intending to do it, I did it.
Did that take a lot of effort to get
I actually dropped it. Seems to be doing okay, but a lot of the dirt fell out, and I was like, because it's in a really
big,
and it was kind of an odd shape to, there wasn't an easy lip to it to hold on to it, so I made it 10 feet and then dropped it.
It's impressive though.
Yeah, and I refused to ask for help, which is one of our challenges. And even after I dropped it, I refused to. I was like, no, I got this. So I got it inside.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, and I got it repotted. I watered it. And because it's always been watered outside, I didn't realize how quickly the water, and it totally, even though I put it in a little, that was my other celebration, that I had those little, what are they called?
I know, what is that?
The little trays that the container sits in, and all of a sudden the water just started overflowing out of the tray. I had I don't know if it's because I don't know, in the way I dropped it, that I have no idea, but it went all over the rug, and I was like, oh my gosh. So it was still a celebration. I got it inside, even though it had a few hiccups to get it. It's in the house. How long it makes it, we'll see, but it has a chance now. Okay.
Yay.
Now for my ADHD friendly tip. So this is an approach to a cleaning schedule. I don't know if you've heard about this on TikTok. It's called the 610 list. It's from Organized Chaos on TikTok.
Oh, no, I've not.
I don't use TikTok.
No, same.
I read an article.
Yeah.
It's where I found it. So the 610 list is 6 things you do daily, 10 things you do weekly. And then it also goes on to have 4 different things that it recommends doing monthly, and then 6 things that you would do quarterly. But the 610 is basically 6 things you do daily, 10 things you do weekly. I love this for the simplicity. I find things like cleaning are much easier for me if you give me what do I do when, instead of me trying to figure out how often do you clean that, and how, what do I need to clean that? And is that a, once a week, once a month, once a year? I don't know. So I like that it broke it down. It's really simple. It was a little, just simple list. What I will just to invite you to explore if the 610 list is something that interests you, to create a little bit more ease. Instead of expecting yourself to do everything, it gives you 6 things to do. Some of them I was like, okay, yeah, I could do that. So I'm just going to read the list and just kind of ask you to know if you could do this every single day. Yeah. Personally, I think if you're doing these 6 things daily, you probably don't have ADHD, but that's my personal impression. I could be wrong. Number 1, make your bed. I like that one. Pretty takes, literally for my bed takes 30-45 seconds. It's simple.
Right.
Number 2, wash dishes. Yes, I don't like dishes in the sink. So that I'm okay, yeah. I'm reading, yeah, I agree.
That.
Scrub the sink. I don't know what they mean by scrub the sink.
Like all sinks, just your main
I
kitchen
don't,
sink?
yeah, it doesn't say. So even if I immediately just thought kitchen
Kitchen
sink, but that's
sink.
interesting. I don't know if it meant all sinks,
Right.
but I don't know what they mean scrub.
Right,
So I'm
do you
like, do you just mean like rinse it out? Then yeah, I'm on board. If
I
you mean
can do
like
that.
get out cleaners and scrub, I'm not doing that every
If
day.
it's just a spray, maybe I could be like, let it sit.
Yeah.
Would be okay.
Number 4, wipe the counters. I like that.
Done.
Right? This is where I have problems with like the big problems with 5 and 6, because I'm just like, okay. 5, vacuum floors
All of
every day.
that's asking a lot.
I gotta say, for me and my brain, that's too big of an
That's
ask. That's not happening. Even when even I'm like, it'd be lovely if I could do it. No, I'm not doing that every day. It's not
No.
gonna happen. But
Even
if that
I
works
had
for
a-
you,
no.
great. Even if it was just vacuum your bedroom floor, like I'm not gonna do it every day.
Even if I had like a
Why
sparkling
would I vacuum every day? I have dogs that don't vacuum every day.
No.
I like the idea of it. If I had a Roomba and I could set it every day, that's how I could get it done.
Roomba.
Automatic. All right, I'm back on board. If I have a Roomba.
Compromise.
All right.
Okay.
I don't have a Roomba, so I'm not doing that every day. Number 6, do 1 load of laundry every day. No. Do you know how hard it is to get? I mean, I like the idea of staying on top of it. So please, like, if you're listening to this and you're like, Patty, oh my gosh, that makes so much sense, because please tell me.
Yeah.
But for me, the thought of expecting myself to do laundry every day, when that's like, I know it would get a good routine. I'm sure it would establish. I don't have enough interest and motivation to do laundry every single day,
That's
to do a
not
load a day.
energy.
And it means every day I'm doing something I really don't like doing.
Yeah.
So
No.
no. But I like the idea of defining, if you did things every day, what are they
What are
that
the
you
things?
can keep up with, so that it's sustainable and
Yeah.
it builds that repetition and the
Totally.
routine, so that it's like, oh, this is just what I do. Kind of like when I share with my morning routine, it's just what I do. And then the weekly 10, I'm just going to read through these really quickly. Some of them I'm like, other ones I'm like, but wipe out the fridge. Okay. But do they mean take everything out, or just like wipe off,
The
spills or
shelves
things that are
or-
like, any crumbs or things? I don't
Yeah.
know. I'd wipe off, but I'm not taking things out. Wipe out the microwave. Yes, I do that. Tidy the pantry. Okay. Mop the floors.
That's asking a lot.
It's kind of like vacuum the floors there.
Right. Yeah.
But again, clean the bathrooms. Yeah. Clean the sink drains.
Is that like pulling out?
I don't know. Dust furniture. Yeah, I can get behind that. Wash bedding.
Okay.
Tidy the car.
My car's not messy.
Yeah, I don't know what that, I don't know.
Well, some people like live in their cars.
Yeah, I guess
so
like if you
much stuff.
like get into a routine of just going
Yeah.
out with a trash bag and getting everything
Yeah.
out of it, maybe. Okay. All right. Clean the pet bowls. I don't want to say the last time I cleaned the pet bowls, but I can tell you it's not weekly. So that was a little shame hit there. I was like, yeah. I even have a hard time throwing them in the dishwasher, because I feel like it's contaminating all the
rest
other.
of the-
Yeah. It doesn't make any sense because it's sanitizing it, but I don't know. I have a hard time with that one.
I don't do
All right.
that monthly.
So if you want to check out the list, it's 6/10 list from TikTok user Organized Chaos. That's where you can find it. So I just wanted to share it because, again, I love cleaning tips. And like with anything I share, what I always encourage everybody to do is take what works for you and leave the rest behind. So if there's something in there, like, you know what, I could do one of those things every day. Or one thing that isn't on that list, but that you would do every day. Make it work for you. Leave the rest behind. All right. Hello, friends. I'm ADHD Friendly Girl. Are you overwhelmed, unmotivated, run down? Do you stop before you start? The answer to your challenges can be found at ADHD Friendly. ADHD Friendly is where we make the doing easier. Join ADHD Friendly today and start tilting the playing field in favor of your ADHD brain and start thriving. ADHDfriendly.com, where intention meets action. All right, we're back. So the main topic for today, I'm going to talk about managing subscriptions. It just seems like everything has gone to subscriptions.
Yes.
I noticed it a few years ago. It's exploded. I mean, it's like where things I'm just like, are you kidding me? This is a subscription too. It's insane. It's insane. Everything just seems like they don't want you to pay once, they want you to pay forever. And there's a lot of upside to businesses doing this.
Yeah.
And full disclosure, I started my own membership platform, which in essence is a subscription. But one of the things that was a non-negotiable for me when I set it up was it had to be as easy to cancel it as it was to set it up.
Yeah.
Because what I find ridiculously not ADHD friendly and very, very frustrating is when I sign up for something and it's like they put up a firewall that I can't get into it to cancel it. They hide it. They
Yes.
make it incredibly fatiguing and difficult to
Yep.
cancel, where we'll start and we'll just be like, you know what, I have time for this.
Forget
And
it.
we'll just leave it. And then it'll sit for months or longer
And you're
before
paying for
we're
that.
paying for it. So, and I also wasn't willing to offer a subscription that I didn't believe was truly ADHD friendly and offer incredible value. That's my intention and my goal. So I have to just start with that because I'm uncomfortable talking about ways to manage subscriptions and how they really cannot be ADHD friendly in a lot of ways when I offer one myself. So I want to be really transparent at all times, and intentional about what I'm doing to make sure it is ADHD friendly. And if it's not as easy to cancel as it was to set it up, it's not ADHD friendly. All right, back to how to manage them. So I'm going to start with some research, as I like to do. So this is from the Motley Fool, and they ask typical Americans, this is asking you to explore how much you spend monthly on subscriptions. And I've already asked you this. You may not remember what the number is, but I'm going to be able to just kind of pause and ask you guys here to think about how much you think you spend each month on your subscriptions. So if you just kind of think about it for a second, get a number in your head. Okay, if you've got a number, I'm going to tell you that the Motley Fool research showed that Americans estimated that their monthly subscriptions cost about $86.
Okay.
Okay. The actual research showed that the monthly cost was actually $219 a month for the average American. Guys, that times 12 months is $2,628 every year on subscriptions.
Patty.
I have to be honest, I think that is grossly underestimated when you think about the number of and types of subscriptions out there. I'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
But we're just going to go with what they said.
What they
The
said.
average American spends monthly is $219. And they also said their research showed that the average person wastes about $350 a year on subscriptions that they don't use or don't even remember they're subscribing to. Okay. I also think that number is highly underestimated, like lower than it actually is. All right. So I then want to share some ADHD related challenges to keeping up with subscriptions. All right. And this is just my own research and my own knowledge about what I've learned from my own subscription management, as well as my clients struggle to manage their subscriptions. The first is forgetting to cancel trial subscriptions, right? So how many of us have signed up for a trial, intend like, oh, I'll try it for the week or the 30 days and I'll cancel it before it expires. And then we forget. And because most of them require you to sign up with your credit card on file, it just starts charging them. And unless you're going in and looking at your statements every month, you won't see it. And sometimes what it's charged as is a different name than what you signed up for. So like, let's say I signed up for, I'm just going to use Netflix, but Netflix has a parent company that's processing the charge and it's a different company name that's processing the charge. You may not even recognize the charge for what it is and be like, I don't know what that is. What is that? And then, I don't know, it must have been your partner or somebody, we don't even know.
Shady.
So this is very expensive when you try a trial and then end up paying for it. So we need prompts. So I'm going to go into strategies later, but prompts, I just want to go ahead and just earmark that. Remember, you're going to need prompts if you sign up for a trial to remind yourself to cancel it. Another challenge is that you're paying for subscriptions that maybe you started out being really excited about and you never use it. So you're paying, and it just isn't something that you build a routine around using or found really helpful in the ways that you imagined it would. So you're just not using it anymore, but you're still paying for it. The third is you might not remember the passwords or the login information to go back in and use it. So you're still wanting to use it, but months are going by and you just can't seem to block the time or find the energy and the motivation to go in and figure out your password or reset a password. Or even to go in and cancel it. You don't remember the password, so you can't go in and cancel it. Another one is even just remembering that you have a subscription. A lot of us will sign up for things
and forget
and completely forget. So like, it may have been very spontaneous or interesting, or an add-on like, oh, would you like to pay for this extended warranty? It's only $2.30 a month or something. You're like, yeah, sure. Yes,
it
I
on
want that.
there.
That's going to be peace of mind. I'd love to have that. Maybe you don't even have the thing anymore, or it breaks and you forgot you're paying for the coverage, so you don't even use it. Like, this is like just across the board frustrating. Remembering the details of the subscription. So whether you're on a specific tier, like what you get for your level, or even when you think about like cell phone with data, like if you have like, oh, I don't have unlimited, I have this much, or you might pay like for your cell phone, but you also have, let's say, like a smartwatch.
Yeah.
And if your smartwatch has a phone number attached to it, you're paying every month for all of these extra add-ons because they all have their own subscriptions.
And you don't even think about it.
So it's like almost like too much to manage when you
Yeah.
think about trying to hold on to all these details. Our brains can't. Things fall off, and then we're paying for things that we no longer, they're just not serving us. The difficulty of canceling subscriptions I alluded to before is a real challenge. And then not having a visual or concrete way to see what you're currently subscribing to, so you can see how much you're actually paying. And if there are there redundancies, like, are you paying for multiple music streaming services or lots of different TV streaming services, but some of them like really do overlap, where you can see similar things and you really don't need to subscribe to them. So there's redundancies and additional costs. So those are some ADHD unfriendly things about trying to keep up with subscriptions. So I want to just run down a list of different types of subscriptions, because some of these, I know I did a session on this with my ADHD Friendly membership a couple of months ago, and it was really interesting because a lot of times we don't even think about some of these things as subscriptions. We think of them as, well, I have to have that, I have to pay for it. And some things, yes, like electricity is not a subscription. like you need to, have that. Your mortgage is not, your car payment. These are not subscriptions in the sense that you could cancel them and they don't impact your life. They're things that you'd like to have, not things that you need to have. So to be clear, subscriptions and what we're talking about today are things that are add-ons. They're additional things that you would like to have, but they aren't essential to what you're doing to support, having food and shelter and that kind of thing.
Right.
Okay. So self-service, I'm going to start with in the sense that you might need to have a cell phone, but you might be paying for things with your cell phone service that are ongoing, like a warranty on your cell phone itself. That could be like an add-on subscription that you're paying for. If you have other devices connected, like tablets and watches, they all have their own monthly fee, and they might have their own warranty or, additional coverage fee as well. So there's lots of add-ons that are tacked on to your cell phone that are optional subscriptions that I just want to, kind of highlight, because we just kind of see a bill, and most of us are not getting physical bills, so it would require you to log in and go and look at the statement line for line, and the vast majority of us are just not doing that. So being aware of what you're paying for is important. Next is shopping subscriptions. So like Walmart Plus, where you can order and they'll deliver if you're a Walmart Plus member, or Amazon Prime, and wholesale clubs. I love my Costco, but that is an annual subscription I'm paying for. So I didn't even think about that until I got my bill when I was preparing all of the information a few months ago. And I was like, I didn't even think about my warehouse club subscription. That is not required. It is an optional thing I'm paying for. And because it's once a year, it wasn't something that came across my statements when I was pulling all the information that I was trying to prepare for this. And now there is software. So if you have like a home alarm system, alarm monitoring is something that is a subscription. If you have software for your computer, like Microsoft Office or Google Workplace, or if you pay for cloud storage, these are all monthly subscriptions. Meal plans like Blue Apron and HelloFresh, subscriptions. Beauty boxes are a new thing. I hadn't heard of that, but that's like a new thing. Beauty boxes and clothing subscriptions, where you sign up to get like so many items and you can try them on and return them. But again, these are all challenging when we have ADHD. So you might have like a pile of things you intend to return. You're paying for them. If you go past the deadline, you own it. Yep, you're stuck with it. streaming services, like I mentioned before, Netflix and Hulu and Apple TV and all the different TV streaming services, cable TV, another
So many
subscription.
streaming
Mhm.
services.
Fitness related subscriptions. So it could be a gym subscription. It could be an online membership that you're paying for to work
Right.
out or get like yoga with Adrian.
Adrian.
Can be, it's a lot of it's free, but you can also get a subscription. Different apps have free versions, but many of them require a subscription to access more
Yeah.
content and get updates and all the higher level content. Pet care. So your pets could have subscriptions. It could be food. It can be flea and tick medicine. It could be treats.
Toys.
I know, like they even have like surprise dog boxes that come once a
Boxes,
month
what?
with like random treats. And I'm like, okay, guys, this is for us. Like really, this is
Love
our
it.
brain, all
Yeah.
sparkly. The dogs,
Totally.
like, yeah, they like new toys, but they don't need a subscription. This is me. This is me. That was like an easy, like, I don't need that. I find other subscriptions harder for me to say no to, but the dog treats one, I was like, no. Cleaning and yard work is a subscription. If you're paying for it ongoing for like lawn maintenance or if you like Molly Maid was like one of the subscription
Yeah.
types that came up where it's like you're paying an ongoing fee for them to come on a regular schedule. So those were just like some highlighted kind of broad subscription types. I know there's more out there, but I just wanted to hit the ones that most of us have either subscribed to or know about.
Heard of.
And want to just kind of, when you start thinking about how many of those did you kind of mentally like, yeah, I have that. Yeah, I have that. Do you want them all?
No.
Are they serving you? So here's some tips to manage them with a little bit more ADHD friendly ease. Number one, gather your bank and credit card statements or log in online and look at them. I like to print them. I'm a kind of external concrete tool kind of person. So even if I'm getting it online, I'm printing it so I can kind of highlight and use the information more easily so I can process it. Gather them up, highlight all the subscriptions you're paying for monthly. You might need to go back to catch the annual ones if you aren't already aware of, what the annual ones are or remember what the charges for the annual ones are. Calculate the cost of the subscriptions. So the way to do this that I found the most ease in keeping up with it was just make a whole list. So list all the subscriptions, whether it's on a sheet of paper or my favorite, a spreadsheet. So I'm going to share just a quick little image. Again, if you're listening to this, I invite you to check out my YouTube channel, ADHD Friendly. I made a spreadsheet and I just kind of highlighted what the subscription was for. I've made categories. So I have like TV and streaming services. I have magazines, like most of them are digital or newspapers. I have the shopping subscriptions, home maintenance subscriptions, how much they are monthly. And then I added them all up and oh my gosh, Becca, it was so far beyond. Now, I don't know because the article from Motley Fool did not say what specifically they were counting as subscriptions. So they may not have included all of the things that I'm including, but I really was very specific when I made my list of anything that was not essential. So I did not count, electricity and internet. That's like, I need that.
Yes.
But I did keep it in the cost. So I knew how much I was paying for it because it was also highlighting, do I need this level of it? Right. So it's like, I do need this, but do I need to pay as much as I'm paying for it? Maybe there's a lower level I can move to. So I'm saving a little bit of money. So make a list so you can see it, so you can add it up. And then I went through and I wrote down if it was active, if it was a trial, or if it was something, am I using it? So then I gave like a satisfaction rating. And for me, that was just an easy way for me to see which ones would I target letting go of. If I'm just, number one, either not using it anymore, or I don't need it. Like it may have been great, but I just don't use it. So I gave it a rating from 0 to 5. And if it was below if it was below a 4, I just decided, do I need to replace it with something else if I need it, but it's not working the way I need it to, or do I want to let it go? And I even came across some subscriptions I decided I would want to subscribe to. And that created some interest and motivation, like the Yoga with Adrian, where I thought, well, maybe I can reduce my current subscriptions to free up some money to pay for that. That would be very sparkly, not to add to my subscription price, but to find ways to intentionally highlight the one I want
Mhm.
and use money to get rid of the ones I don't want to pay for it. Another tip is set calendar alerts for trials and renewal dates. So on my annual subscriptions, I did note the renewal dates for all of them. And I
Oh,
highlighted the ones I was debating, do I want to renew this again at the annual
right.
renewal? I also noted if they were increasing. So I just got an email, ironically, the other day that apparently Disney Plus is increasing their membership. So I'm like, okay, thank you for telling me that. I need to think about that. I also have these were just my personal
Yes.
family memberships. In my business, I also have some business subscriptions that I'm tracking as well. And I've gotten alerts that they're going to go up at the next annual renewal. And I'm like, okay, is it worth it to me to pay
Mhm.
that amount that's increasing? And for
Right.
some of them, it was not. So I told you, like, I had an Evernote subscription and the subscription price went up so much, it motivated me to pull all of my things out of
Out of
Evernote.
there.
I got rid of Dropbox and I put everything into my Google Workspace because I was already paying for it and it had the storage to accommodate that. So I was
Love
able
that.
to condense. But it was very motivating when I saw the renewal because I was working on subscription. I was like, oh, no,
Not my
nope, not paying
watch.
more. Another tip that I saw, and I found this very sparkly, it would take some effort, but it is one of the things that I'm exploring. Can I do this? I don't know, but I'm thinking about it. One of the recommendations was use one credit card for all of your subscriptions so that you can see everything in one place. There's no, let me go look here, let me check here. I know, like with my husband and I, we both pay for different things on
Right.
different cards.
Mhm.
So it was a lot of effort to pull all of my list together. It took far longer than I thought it would.
Of course.
And so when I read that tip, I thought that would be really nice. And also if something happened and that card got compromised, everything's on the one card.
Right. You know,
It's
it's
not,
all
this
your
card is used for this and this, and I've got to worry, it's everything is on there. So just wanted to share that because I did find that it made sense, very commonsensical, but the ease to do that isn't there. So I like it. I don't know if I'm going to do it, but I do like it. And then last, make a visual tool. Like I shared with my spreadsheet, a way to see what you're subscribing to and manage it with more ease. I also recommend on your spreadsheet, your list, whatever you do, write down the login information if there is any. It's so easy to lose track. There's so many passwords and logins to keep up with. It is literally beyond our brain's capacity to hold on to it. Another tip I just want to highlight, if you're getting bored, I'm sorry, but this is like, I'm like, it's going longer than I wanted, but this is key. If you do calendar reminders, I just wanted to share, again, I'm holding up a screenshot where I just pulled 3 different examples of calendar reminders. So I had an Audible subscription. Here's my example, where I put on there cancel by July 5th at the latest. And then I put in the notes the date that I purchased it on and that it was going to have an annual renewal of $149.95 if I don't cancel it. That information in the note was very key because if it was just like, oh, if I don't cancel it, I don't know what happens. I don't know the implication. I really recommend adding information into the notes part of the calendar prompt so you'll remember what you need to cancel it. So I'll even put like the login, or I'll put like the website link in there so I can just click it directly and go to the part that I need to cancel it. Put notes in there if you do calendar reminders to make it easier for your future self to take the action that the prompt is asking you to do, instead of just seeing it and being like, how do I'm going to think about that later. And then we don't do it. So support your future self, make it easy.
Less resistance on your part.
Exactly. All right. And then just a couple of takeaway little tips. One of the things that research showed, I found this in an NPR article in August. It was on August 30th called, Yes, People Often Forget to Cancel Their Monthly Subscriptions and the Costs Add Up. And they said that when your credit card expires, you'll get notices from them that, hey, need you to update your card on file. That is such a great time to let it go, right? Like don't renew it because you don't have to do anything. They can't charge you anymore because the card's expired.
You can't make
And they said that what happens when this happens is that research showed that people have to make an active decision about whether or not to renew it. And that they cancel about 4 times as often as during other months that didn't have a expired card on file. So that obviously creates ease because it's like, oh, good, I didn't want to have that anymore. I didn't realize I still had that. And then they said that businesses are profiting from subscriptions. It's why so many models are going towards subscriptions. I honestly think subscription fatigue has got to be something that we're starting to feel, or it's certainly on the horizon. I feel it, which is why I did this topic. But being mindful of, let's not subscribe to things and spend our hard-earned money on things that we don't want or need anymore. So really, hitting that pause button to check in, and do I need this monthly? Maybe, try the free version for a while and see, does this really, is it something I use? Is it something I want? Is it something I need before we subscribe? If you do
Right.
subscribe, start a list. Even if you don't go back and pull details, you can add once you start. Starting is always the hardest thing. So maybe you just start with the one subscription that you remember the information for, and then you can keep adding to it as you get your statements and you're remembering, or you sign up for something new, you have a place to put that information. So remember, what you need to do is what you are capable of doing. Allow yourself to do what works for you. Start from where you are, so you're managing subscriptions with a little bit more ease, and move on from there. That's always the place that I find we're most successful, is we don't expect ourselves to, oh, I'm gonna, spend a day and pull it all together. If you can do that, great. But starting from where you are, one step at a time, to manage subscriptions more than you currently are. So it's serving you instead of them just kind of taking your money and you're not benefiting from it. All right, quick recap. If you try the 6-10 cleaning tip that I shared with the ADHD Friendly tip for cleaning, I'd love to hear what you think, or if you have other ideas. Post in the comments. Again, this is episode
102.
Thank you, Becca. Yes. Post in the comments. Love to hear what cleaning tips, or if you try the 6-10 cleaning, how it worked for you. If you changed what the 6 things are, I'd love to hear your 6 things. And then managing subscriptions. Again, if you have tips that I didn't share that work, or you've thought about trying that could make it easier for us to keep up with subscriptions, please share them. I'd love to hear it. I'm always hoping we can use this platform to learn from each other and make our lives a little bit more ADHD friendly through the information that those of us who have ADHD are able to navigate with more ease, and we just share it with each other to help for the benefit of each other. Next week, maybe, I don't know, I got something else that's kind of vying for the potential, but I might be talking about family traditions. Maybe.
We'll see.
If not, it'll be something else equally, or actually more sparkly, because it pushed that one out of the way. That's it for this episode of ADHD Friendly. Remember, take what works for you, leave the rest behind. If you like this, please subscribe or share it with someone else who you think could benefit from the information. Until next time, Tally ho.